press conference reaction from Unai Emery's presser ahead of Leicester City v Aston Villa tomorrow. Really excited. Hopefully we can build on the win and the really good performance against Arsenal. So really looking forward to it. If we can go into the international break with another win, 6 points out of 9 would be pretty decent from our first 3 games. And then we go on to a double header after the international break against Everton and Wolves. So lots to look forward to. A big test at the King Power, but I think it's one that we can relish. We can strive to get the victory in. We've seen 2 very good tactical performances from Villa. We've followed game plans. We've looked really good. We've looked really bright. So, like I said in the preview and the predicted lineup, I expect a real intense battle. But if we nail it, if we get the full Unai Emery performance, then we can come out of that with the win, definitely. Right, so talk about yesterday. The Champions League draw was magical, absolutely magical. I mean, for any Villa fan that was watching that draw, it's just stuff that as football fans we dream of, really. It's stuff that we want to be involved in. It's the pinnacle of European football. It doesn't get any better than that. So it was absolutely amazing to watch and to come out of it with some absolutely top home games of Juventus, Bayern Munich, Celtic. We go away to some really cool places as well. So, yeah, I think the draw is really good. I think it's pretty fair for us in the sense of I think we've got a really good opportunity in front of us and we've just got to step up and raise our levels, especially in the home games. But I think those are going to be nights that we all remember and we all talk about for a very long time. And I just can't wait for it all to get going and embrace it and just get stuck into it and see what happens, really. And just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride because the good times are back at Aston Villa, that's for sure as well. So we've got a little bit of news on international. So Maatsen has been called up to the Netherlands under-21s. We've got Pau Torres, who has been called up to the Spanish side, which is really good news. McGinn for Scotland, Watkins and Konsa for England, Emi for Argentina. So we've got a nice little collective there. We've got Rogers, Philogene and Ealing Jr., who have been called up for the England under-21s as well. So that's really good for those 3 players as well. So deadline day looks pretty dry from a Villa point of view, which I imagine is sometimes, it's a little bit frustrating, isn't it? Because I think in a transfer window, I don't think you can ever be happy. I don't think you can ever come out of it and think we've absolutely nailed it, because there's always positions that I think you want to improve on. But I think the big thing for Villa, and this is the most important thing, is that we complied with PSR and the UEFA rules. Those were the 2 areas that going into this transfer window, we really had to navigate. And I think some would say, defence, we were a bit short maybe. Right back, centre-half, right-sided centre-half. I think that's the area that I think most people wanted us to strengthen. But I think as a whole, if you look at the whole squad, it's pretty stacked with really good players. We've signed 2 absolute beasts in Maatsen and Onana. We've got Cash and Costa as right back. Cons can go there. Carlos looks like he stayed. So I think all in all, the squad's got good balance and we just got to roll with it now. I think the most important thing, and I'll echo this big one, but the most important signing Aston Villa made was Unai Emery's 5-year deal to stay at Aston Villa until 2029. That was the biggest signing Aston Villa made in this window. So, yeah, I'm okay. I'm chill. I'm calm. We roll with it. We move. We go with it. And we go with Unai Emery and the players that we've got. And we go full steam ahead. The big thing for Villa, we've got Mings, which isn't far from returning. We've got Boubacar Kamara, who won't be far from returning. We've got Emi Buendia back in the squad. We've got Jacob Ramsey. All 4 of those were not with us last season. So the 4 of those are back. You look at the bench is stacked, so let's just go with it. We can't moan about it. We've just got to get on with it and go full steam ahead now into the season and just embrace what we've got. So there we are. Right, so what's Unai Emery been saying then? He spoke about the transfer window and he has said, very happy, very happy. We were planning at the beginning, the squad we have now with some very important players, they are coming back progressively. The players we added this year in the squad, I am very happy. So if Unai's happy, I'm happy, and everyone else should be happy, because if Unai's happy, then there we go. If Unai's sad, I'm sad. If he's upset, I'll be upset. But if he's happy, I'm rolling with him. I'm rolling with him. So that is what Unai said about the window. And I think, we've had to be clever. We've had to be cute. We've had to do certain things to navigate it. And I think, unlike the past, where we live for a transfer window, and I've also said this before, we just live for that next window. We have done some things in this window which hopefully in a year or two will allow us to bring some players in that can flourish at Villa, or if not, if their value gets higher, we can move them on for profit, which then gives us more revenue, gives us more money, which enable us to spend more, which then will in turn make sure we don't have to sell a big hitter. So I think we've done some good stuff, and we're not a club now that's just here for right now. We're not living in that moment anymore, because we've got a manager that's here till 2029. He's here for the long term. So the vision of what they've got, we may have had to have navigate this little sticky patch, but the long run hopefully will be better. We'll be better planned. We will be in a better position. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So on tomorrow, he said, we are excited because we want to keep our good 2 matches we've played. Tactically, we are very, very motivated for the match tomorrow. On the Champions League, Emery has said, we are motivated. We are going to enjoy together with our supporters playing in the Champions League. But if we want to play next year in the Champions League, we have to be consistent and performing in the Premier League. So like last season, he's mentioning again in his reiterating the importance of the Premier League and making sure that we are at the best of our ability in the Premier League, that we are being competitive, that we are making sure that we are doing the right things in the Premier League. And again, he's just reiterating that the Premier League is the main area, because there's no point in Aston Villa playing in the Champions League this year and then next year not playing in anything. That would be an absolute disaster. Any Newcastle fan that I see on social media, they'll go, yeah, but we've got a real good opportunity this season because we're not in Europe. No, that's just absolutely ridiculous. You don't want to be saying it's for where we are right now. It will never be a positive not being in Europe. That is a fact to me. We have to be in Europe. We have to be challenging for those European spots. We have to be playing in European football. If it's the Europa League, it's the Europa League. If it's the Conference League, it's the Conference League. But European football has to be the main objective. And at Aston Villa, we've got a manager that's never not played in Europe as a manager. So the odds on Villa getting into Europe this season are pretty high. But I do think, obviously, we will take the Champions League very, very seriously. Emery will want to win the Champions League. He will want to go as far as he possibly can in the Champions League. But the league is also vitally important for the success of Aston Villa as well. So, yeah, I think that's just absolutely huge that we maintain our position in Europe. And I know kind of a lot gets said about Villa's transfer window, and I think if you look at Newcastle, don't really think they've done that much. Have Newcastle really strengthened? Liverpool with Chiesa, yeah, okay, that's all right. Have they really strengthened? Probably not so much. They still need a midfielder. So I think you look at our two big players that we bought in, Onana and Matson. They are huge for the way that we play. You start bringing back Kamara into that picture as well. You start, looking at some of maybe the development of some of the players. I mean, you look at Nedeljkovic. 18 years of age. Cash looks like he's out for the weekend. If he hits the ground running and starts playing really well, he's owning that shirt at 18 years of age. And don't forget, he played in the Champions League last season against Man City, and he was absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, I think sometimes there's that little bit of an unknown, isn't there, when you've got younger players and you just don't know sort of what you're going to get with them. But we've got a manager that will trust them, that will nurture them, that will enhance their abilities. So Philogene as well. He's got to step up off the bench. He's got to start to deliver. So, there's great opportunities for quite a number of players now, such as the young lads like Bogard. If he has to step up and play, then there we go. He has to step up and play. You see Quansah at Liverpool. He sort of stepped up when he's had to play. So, there's a real big opportunity for a couple of those players there that play for Villa that can sort of make the shirt their own, shall we say. So I think that's pretty much it from the presser. We've got through quite a bit, to be fair, of what Emery's saying. So he's also spoke about Ramsey being consistent to the level that he was before he got injured, but also increasing his level as well. So, Villa fans, smash a like on this episode. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are close to 21,000. So if you aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Tomorrow, we will have all of our match reaction from the game against Leicester. And then in the international break, we will have content coming out as well. I'm going to Milan for a few days. So, I'll get some content that will be out while I'm away. So there will be content while I'm away anyway. So, up the Villa.